What's up, everybody? Disco Demonic Hydrophonic. I started out making a bunch of notes, but basically it was so much. I'm just gonna talk and see what happens. Uh, so I recently just finished working through the Qliphoth, Sidra Akhra, Qliphoth, however you pronounce it, or whatever term you use to identify it. Uh, and each one of these are shells. And I'm not going to go into the whole history of it. There's books you can read on that. Um, Several books I went through on VK Jehannam's site, and then on his WordPress site, and then I read through the Sitra Akhra written by the MLO, Misanthropic Luciferian Order, and so those are the two books, one of the book and then his page that I used in order to work through them, and so I had some pretty intense experiences. I don't want to say that everybody will have the exact same experiences as me, and I learned I learned a newfound respect for the spirits, um, like what they can do even greater than the ideas that I had before, right? So um, I learned some new mantras. I learned several things. So basically, I learned not to challenge the spirits. I'm not saying that I did challenge the spirits, but there was a definite, not, I don't want to say fear, but like, I'm not going to challenge the spirits. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so when I worked through them, there were several that different things happen in different ones. Um, and I think everybody's going to have different experiences for everyone, depending upon what the lessons are you need to learn. When I first started this a few months ago, I started and I was kind of zooming through them, and I was like, "Oh, this ain't shit, man. This is easy." You know. Then I was kind of like, "Am I doing this right?" Blah blah blah, this and that, and like I said, nothing was happening. And then I got to one of the shells, and then all of a sudden, man, it just like, I don't know if it all hit at once or just that shell. I needed to learn a lesson. Boom! It fucking hit. And so I was like, okay, this it was a pretty intense lesson. I won't go into the details about the lesson, but it was pretty intense. I think it had something to do with dealing with people who. Anyway, so like after these experiences, after that main one, I actually had to take a break for a little while because it was so intense, and I was kind of like, I wasn't ready to go into another situation as intense as that one. And then actually, I did a couple of more shells, and almost want to say spheres. Spheres is the tree of life. Shells is the Qliphoth, right? So according to the Kabbalah. So I had a couple other experiences, yeah, and they happened at work, and they were pretty, like I said, pretty intense, man. And I've been through a lot in life, so normally I'm pretty chill, but these right here rock me. So I took a break for a while, and then recently, like I said, about a few weeks ago, I just got back into them, and I was past halfway through. I started just kind of rock and rolling through them again, and then there was one major one that just really fucking hit me, you know, and I was having a really rough time. I think I made a video about it, or like where I was up all night, and then at 3, then I had got some lessons that I wrote down, like, you know, not to judge anyone or anything kind of thing. And I got a few lessons all at once, and it was, I don't know if they were all pertaining to the same shell or whatever, but I got them all at once. And I kind of tend to do that. Like, I'll start out, and if I don't feel anything, like, I'm very much like boom, 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 you know, like I'm very intense with my work. So because of what I've been through, like one thing, death is not. I'm not afraid to like die and anything like that. So I'm not trying to sound tough or nothing, but I've been through some pretty rough shit. So death is like, eh, you know, again, kind of a thing, because I haven't died, but I've gotten very, very close to it, and a few times. So it was kind of that thing, like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fuck hurt. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to fucking survive another one of these motherfuckers. So, but anyways, I went through that night, man, and I had that experience. And then after that, I was kind of I wanted to move forward through the shells, but I was very like apprehensive about doing so, just because they were so intense. That last experience, it was so intense. Everything hit at once. It was like 5 or 6 different things that would normally break somebody, like all hit me at once. Like it took all that to kind of just get me to be like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? Like what the fuck is gonna happen? You know, I think you have to reach that point and to see what's going on, and you know, it was fucking intense, man. And so I made it through, and then after that, I was still kind of leery about going forward, but I had just two more shells to work through. So I worked through the second to the last one, and then at the last one I worked through Thamiel, and as soon as I was done, like I felt like everything was good, and then I just felt like everything was just like, you know, okay, kind of like you did it. Like they were telling me that you made it through this test, basically, or this ordeal. And ever since then, things have been like gotten like wicked better. Like, you know, like I feel more powerful. All my work has just improved. I've been learning so much. It's been definitely beneficial. Like I think the spirits are definitely like, hey, you made it, man. Way to go. Here's this. Like, you know, all right. Until the next time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a thing. And yeah, I learned a lot of shit. So I'm gonna be making more videos lately about everything I've learned. I got a few more books I'm reading. One of the things that I've been really studying is because of my Qigong exercises, my Neigong, Falun Gong, all the different martial arts and things. I've been kind of incorporating yoga into my practice more and less and more and less, and doing some boxing exercises, just in case there's an apocalypse and I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready with some shit. You know what I'm saying? I got enough weapons, but I'm like, sometimes you don't always got weapons. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes all you got is these motherfuckers. So you know, whatever. But so all this stuff, man, and then so I've gotten really into the internal alchemy of everything, because one of the things I started seeing a lot was when I was watching videos, not necessarily on how to do like any Qigong exercises or any Neigong exercises, but on how, like, the philosophy of everything, right? Because I've gained a lot of interest in really learning philosophy. Like, as far as like altercations, like physical altercations, I'm not really interested in learning how to fight. I'm 44 years old. I've already been through all that kind of shit. Like, fucking whatever. If I get beat up, I get fucking beat up. I really could give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been beat up since I was a kid. It's no big fucking deal. So then I want to learn some of the internal alchemy, right? So as I work through this, I've been coming across Daoism and Taoism. I used to own a Tao Te Ching. I think I'm saying that wrong, but I'm not Chinese. But it was, I really, really liked it. I'm going to get another one, and it is free audio on YouTube. There is free audio of it on YouTube, so you can just listen to it. I think be better to kind of just to each day kind of go through kind of like a study guide kind of thing. But I've learned a lot. I've been starting to learn about that. I'm not gonna say a lot. I'm just starting to get into the Tao, you know, like the natural way, the way. And actually see how I can apply this to my actual spell work, because it definitely relates to energy work. My Reiki has been getting more powerful, has been flowing better, things like that. Like, and I'm becoming more acceptable of certain aspects of my life, and so the Tao is something I'm studying right now. I would go into everything. But basically, the first aspect of the Tao is the art of non-doing. So the art of non-doing is like, I saw a few videos on how they explain this, and so I'm going to go into this and then explain how it relates to spell work. So basically, the art of non-doing is like not to try to micromanage or like overtly control everything that's going on in your life or every aspect of your life, like that being with a pet, a partner, or like work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, we don't have control. There's only a certain amount of control that we have over a situation. The situation is going to play itself out. Like, it has to have its natural state. So you need to learn how to allow it to have its natural state, and I don't want to say like putting your control into it, because really you're just kind of setting your influence into it and then letting it control the natural way, kind of do its thing, right? So you're planting the seed, and then it's going to grow, and you can water it every once in a while. You can water the seed and make it grow into like a strong tree over time, but you cannot, like, say with the tree, you cannot like you cannot make the sun come out when you want it to. You cannot pull out like on the tree and stretch it and make it grow faster. all you can do is just fertilize it, add water to it every once in a while. You can't add too much water, you drown it, depending on what kind of tree it is. But there's only certain aspects that you have control over. So what you need to learn how to do is just have those aspects of control, stick with those aspects of control, and then let the other natural aspects take it from there, basically. So the way I related this to spell work is that, whenever you're casting a spell, or you want some sort of magical aspect of something done, you want something done in a magical way, there's only a certain amount of control that you have, right? After that, you have to let the energy go, and then let the energy do its thing in whatever way it does its thing. If you obsess about the spell, you obsess about, like, you're always thinking about, like, okay, I wonder what's going on now, or you're all trying to, like, it could drive you fucking crazy, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could make you just obsess about it. Like, obsessing will make you obsess about it, yeah. But, you're going to be, like, consumed by this thing. So you have to let it go. That way it does its natural thing, and then, like, eventually it'll come through, like, in whatever way is best for, in the parameters that you put out, depending upon the entity that you're working with and all those other aspects, you know what I'm saying? So you only have so much control that you have, and then the rest you leave it to the gods and to nature. So that's what I've been learning so far, man. It's fucking really cool shit. Like I said, I've learned a couple of cool kick-ass new meditations. I got my Seal of Solomon. This is the 6th Pentacle of Mars. It's for disease. So I've been actually still, like, utilizing Vril, everything that I learned about Vril. So, like, you can hold it, and the actual medallion, the metal, has its own properties. However, the sigil written on there, like, the meaning of it has its own properties as well. So I don't know if I explained this when I talked about the Vril energy, is that if it's something that has, like, some sort of mental attachment to it, like a belief system behind it, you can draw on that. So every person puts energy into that symbol, you can draw from that symbol, right? So this being the symbol for healing, you can actually, like, I'll hold it. I felt sick a few days ago, and I just held it and drew the Vril into my arm, like, and just felt it around my aura, and just stored it in my aura, and then, like, brought it into like, myself, wherever I was feeling kind of, like, not so good, and then so the Vril is still a very powerful part of my practice. I'm glad that I learned it. I'm glad that I have brought it into my life. I'm glad that I came across it. I can only say that Lucifer put it in my path, because he's my my main one. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. Thank you, Lucifer, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, share it with your friends. If you hate it, share it with your enemies. Good evening, day, whatever.